Om Jnana Timandasya Chinandana Shlakam Sakshan Mritam Yena Tasmai Shravave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamni Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskatyan Prasatani Krishna Chaitanya Pavanitya Bhattya Vedanta Shiva Samadhi Guru Bhakta. So we will discuss today the prayers of Queen Kunti, the chapter 8 from the first canto. So in that chapter we had 3 parts. First part we discussed a few weeks ago, consolation of all the widows and after the Battle of Kurukshetra, also the performance of the last rituals. And today we will have the second session, or discuss the second section of this chapter, which is about Uttara, taking shelter of Krishna because Asvatthama had thrown a Brahmastra to destroy the embryo of Maharaj Pariksit in her womb. And we heard last time that how she approached Lord Krishna and asked him for protection. That we will now read verses 10 till 16, which is the complete section, including Uttara's prayers to Lord Krishna and Krishna's reciprocation of these prayers. But I will first recite the verse we discussed last week, that then we have the complete prayers. So Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. Now text 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Abhidravati Mamisha Sarastaptasya Sohibu Kamam Dahatu Mam Nata Name Garbo Nipatyatam. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O my Lord, you are all-powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally, if you so desire. But please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord. Purport. This incident took place after the death of Abhimanyu, the husband of Uttara. Abhimanyu's widow, Uttara, should have followed the path of her husband, but because she was pregnant and Maharaj Pariksit, a great devotee of the Lord, was lying in embryo, she was responsible for his protection. The mother of a child has a great responsibility in giving all protection to the child, and therefore Uttara was not ashamed to express this frankly before Lord Krishna. Uttara was the daughter of a great king, the wife of a great hero, and student of a great devotee. And later she was the mother of a good king also. She was fortunate in every respect. In this verse, we see that Uttara is praying. And she said, yes, you can burn me, but do not let burn my embryo. This is a pure devotee. She wants to perform her service for Krishna. She's not focusing on herself, but on her service. And she has to protect her embryo. Maharaj breaks it, because it's her duty as a mother to protect the child. That because raising a child in Krishna consciousness is a great responsibility. That very important verse, service, text 11. Sutta uvacha ubadaya vachastasya bhagavan bhakta vatsala apandavan idam kartum apandavam idam kartum drani ashtam abhutyata. Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard the words, Lord Sri Krishna, who is always affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashvatam, the son of Brahmacharya, had drawn the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family. Purport. The Lord is impartial in every aspect, but still is inclined towards his devotees because there is great necessity for this, for everyone's well-being. The Pandavas family was a family of devotees, and therefore the Lord wanted them to rule the world. That was the reason he vanquished the rule of the company of Duryodhana and established the rule of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Therefore, he also wanted to protect Maharaj Parikshit, who was lying in embryo. He did not like the idea that the world should be without the Pandavas, the ideal family of devotees. So this is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 9th chapter. Samam Savabhuteshu Namit Veshistinapya. Yebuchantamam Bhaktyam Maitete Sapyam. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all, but whomever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. So this is Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees. Therefore, in the purpose, Prabhupada says, the Lord is impartial in every aspect, but is still inclined toward his devotees, because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. Also, Lord Krishna wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne, because ruling the world is not a job of an ordinary devotee. He was a Mahabhagavat, pure devotee of Krishna. And therefore, Krishna wanted to protect the Pandavas, which is called here the ideal family of devotees. 12. Tayevata munashista Pandava pansasayakan Atmano bimokan diptam Alaksyatan yupatatu. O foremost among the great thinkers, Muni Saunaka, Seeing the glaring Brahmastra proceeding towards them, the Pandavas took up their 5 respective weapons. Report. The Brahmastras are finer than the nuclear weapons. Ashwatthama discharged the Brahmastra simply to kill the Pandavas, namely the 5 bowlers headed by Maharaj Yudhishthira and their only grandson, who was lying within the womb of Uttara. Therefore, the Brahmastra, more effective and finer than the atomic weapon, was not as blind as atomic bombs. When the atomic bombs are discharged, they do not discriminate between the target and others. Mainly the atomic bomb do harm to the innocent because there is no control. The Brahmastra is not like that. It marks out the target and proceeds accordingly without harming the innocent. So this Brahmastra was much more effective weapon than the atom bomb. Although it has same power, but it was created by mantra recitation, and it was focusing on its target, and it would hit its target. No way to counteract it. But we will see Krishna will still protect the embryo of Uttara, where Maharaj Parikshit was lying. He will protect the embryo. Text 13. Vyasanam vikshatatesham ananya vishayatman sudarshanena shvastrena svanam raksham vyahat vibhum. The Almighty Personality of God, Sri Krishna, having observed that the great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotees, who were fully surrendered souls, at once took up his Sudarshan disc to protect them. So the purport, Srila Prabhupada. The Brahmastra, the supreme weapon released by Ashwatthama, was something similar to the nuclear weapon, but with more radiation and heat. This Brahmastra is a product of a more subtle science, being the product of a finer sound, a mantra recorded in the Vedas. Another advantage of this weapon is that it is not blind like the nuclear weapon, because it can be directed only to a target and nothing else. Ashwatthama released the weapon just to finish all the male members of the Pandu's family. Therefore, in one sense, it was more dangerous than the atomic bombs, because it could penetrate even the most protected place and would never miss the target. Knowing all this, Lord Krishna at once took up his personal weapon to protect his devotees who did not know anyone other than Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has clearly promised that his devotee will never be vanquished, and he behaves according to the quality of or degree of the devotional service rendered by the devotees. Here the word Ananya Vishayatmanam is significant. The Pandavas were 100% dependent on the protection of the Lord, although they were all great warriors themselves. But the Lord neglects even the greatest warriors and also vanquishes them in no time. When the Lord saw that there was no time for the Pandavas to counteract the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, they took up his weapon, even at the risk of breaking his own vow. Although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still according to his vow, he should not have taken up his own weapons. But the emergency was more important than the vow. He is better known as the Bhaktavatsal, or the lover of his devotee. and thus he preferred to continue as Bhaktavatsal than to be a worldly moralist or who never breaks his solemn vow. Text 14. Antasta savabhutanam atma yogesvaro hari simaya vino garbam varatya kotutam tave. The Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna resides within everyone's heart as the Paramatma. As such, just to protect the progeny of the Kuru dynasty, he covered the embryo of Uttara by his personal energy. Purport. The Lord of the Supreme Mysticism can simultaneously reside within everyone's heart or even within the atoms by his Paramatma feature. His plenary portion, therefore, from within the body of Uttara, he covered the embryo to save Maharaj Pariksit and protect the progeny of Maharaj Kuru, of whom King Pandu was also descendant. Both the sons of Dhritarashtra and those of Pandu belonged to the same dynasty of Maharaj Kuru. Therefore, both of them were generally known as Kurus. But when there were differences between the two families, the sons of Dhritarashtra were known as Kurus, whereas the sons of Pandu were known as the Pandavas. Since the sons and grandsons of Dhritarashtra were all killed in the Battle of Kurukshetra, the last son of the dynasty is designated as a son of the Kurus. Yatya pascham brahma shiras Vamogham shapratikriyam Vaishnavam te yat asadya samasam yat prehuvada. O Sanak, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashvatam was irresistible and without check or counteraction, it was neutralized and foiled when controlled by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Purport: in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Brahmajyoti, or the glowing transcendental effulgence, is resting on Lord Sri Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but a rays of the Lord. Just as the sun rays are rays of the sun disk, so this Brahma weapon, although materially irresistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. The weapon called Brahmastra, released by Ashvatam, was neutralized and foiled by Lord Sri Krishna by his own energy. That is to say, he did not wait for anyone's help because he is absolute. Now the last verse. Mamastaye tadacharyam sarvasaryam saryam nayichyute yaidam maya devya shriyat avatihantyacha. O Brahmins, do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he maintains and annihilates all material things, although he himself is unborn. Purport: the activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the tiny brain of the living entities. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us, and thus is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is the all-powerful, all-perfect personality of Godhead. The Lord is 100% perfect, whereas others, namely Narayan, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, and all other living beings, possess only different percentages of such perfection. No one is equal or greater than him. He is unrivaled. Section militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he states Name Bhakta Pranashati. Krishna promises he will always protect his devotee. We saw during the Battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna vowed that he will not take up any weapon. But one day, Bhishmadev was fighting very fervently, very determined. So Krishna took up a broken chariot wheel and ran to Bhishmadev. So Krishna is ready to break his promise that he will not to break that promise that he would never take up any weapon, but he will never fail to protect his devotee. So here we hear about how Krishna protected the embryo of Maharaj Parikshit. That this was Krishna is showing his mystic power. Krishna is the master of all mystic powers. Mystics, what does it mean? That mystics, they seem to defy the laws of nature, the material laws of nature. So that means no one can win against Krishna or conquer Krishna in that sense. Because Krishna is the source of all mysticism. That we see also in the Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, Salva, he attacks Dwarka with his flying city, which could become invisible and move suddenly from one place to another. But finally, Krishna destroyed his flying city. His mystic powers could not save him. Also, Brahma was testing Krishna's powers. We see that all the Kamsa, he sent many demons to kill Krishna, and all these demons had great mystic powers. But none of them could conquer Krishna, or was impossible. You see here, he covered the embryo of Maharaj Parikshit with his mystic power. Of course, we see here Uttara is approaching Krishna to protect the child in the womb. And Krishna, she knows Krishna is the source of all mystic powers. What does it mean? There is no limit to Krishna's mystic powers. That same mystic power that allows Krishna to sit in everyone's heart as a super soul. But yes, we cannot see that this mysticism, we cannot observe this mysticism of the Supreme Lord. We cannot find Krishna in our heart because our consciousness, the consciousness of living entity, becomes covered by lust. Avitam jnana metina jnana nitya vaigam. Like fire, it's covered by smoke. So as long as we have this false ego, there are false. But the conditioned soul is also covered by Krishna's agency, the material energy. It's also Krishna's powers. that to cover over that that but here it's the other way around. The conditioned soul is covered by Krishna's Maya energy, but here Krishna is protecting with his energy the embryo. Maharaj breaks it. That So, but we as living entities, we are marginal energy. And we can connect with Krishna's spiritual energy or with Krishna's Maya. The Maya Sakti, the material energy, it covers us and drags us down to effects, covering and dragging down to lower stages of consciousness. But if we come under the spiritual energy, we become uncovered. This Maya, Maya, this material energy, will dissipate. That suddenly, when we come under the spiritual energy, that but yes, when we are covered by Maya, we become covered by fault. Why? By the misuse of our free will. So we see here the Sudarshan disc. Krishna takes up his Sudarshan disc for offering protection. So in the 9th canto, there is a description of Maharaj Ambarish and the Vasa Muni, a so-called mystic, but he was not a devotee. He wanted to kill Maharaj Ambarish by creating a demon from his share. He took an air from his body and threw it on the ground, and a big demon came out to kill Maharaj Pariksit, but to kill Ambarish Maharaj. But Ambarish Maharaj was completely surrendered soul was completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Ambarish it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam, he used his mind always to think of Krishna, his hand to clean the floor of the temple, his ears to hear about Krishna, his eyes to see the deity. He used everything he had in the service of Krishna, and he was completely surrendered. That so a surrendered soul uses everything what he has in the service of Krishna. That is a sign of surrender. Yes. But from the moment Durvasa Muni created this demon, immediately Lord Krishna's Sudarshan appeared. In the 9th canto, we find Ambarish is offering prayers to the Sudarshan Chakra. And there are a number of functions of the Sudarshan are described in these prayers. So we see mostly the Sudarshan as Krishna's disc that So in these prayers, Ambarish Maharaj is speaking about the relationship between the potencies of the Lord and the Lord. The potencies rest always on the potent, on the original person. So the Sudarshan is not an unconscious object in the hands of the Lord. in the spiritual realm, there's no distinction between matter and spirit. So the Sudarshan is an expansion of the Supreme Lord, and is an expansion of the Supreme Lord, and therefore is a person, is the Lord's potency personified. So looking at potencies without the person or the potent, it is incomplete. That so in text 15, Saunaka speaks, and Saunaka is the son of the Brihu dynasty. And it's mentioned there that there is one weapon that is no counter, which can be checked. And that weapon, that there's no counter, it's Krishna who uses his potencies. If Krishna uses potencies, nobody can counteract it, can check it. And therefore, the devotee knows. Krishna says, Namya Bhakti Panashati, if I take shelter of the internal potency, Krishna's eternal potency, Atmasthamapata Devi Bhaktyasvita, if I take shelter of this internal potency, I'll be fearless, because there is nothing anymore to be feared. So the whole spiritual world is within the sound of Krishna's holy name. So therefore, Krishna's holy name is non-different from Krishna. The devotee takes shelter of this holy name. And that's mysterious and infallible. So Krishna is infallible, is unborn. So nobody can stop Krishna. If he wants to protect someone, no one can stop him. So there's no competition. Like in Christian theologians, they speak about Satan. But that is a speculation. It's not true. That they think that Satan is competing with God, and it is a primordial struggle between God and Satan, between God and the evil, so-called. That, but no, Krishna has no competitor. Nobody can win Krishna because he's the source of everything. It's said in Bhagavad Gita. Amsarvasya Pavla Matsavam Bhakti is the source of everything. Is the source of all laws. So nobody can compete with him. So yes, this is a characteristic of the Supreme Lord. He's infallible, he's unborn. So nobody, in Bhagavad Gita said, nobody can excel him. Everything depends on Krishna. And this is essential knowledge of which we need for Sambandha Jnana, for re-establishing our relationship with Krishna. That it's because if we know Krishna's potencies and his vow that he will ever protect his devotees, that gives faith that And that helps us to surrender to the Supreme Lord. So therefore, that if we hear this Bhagavatam, and we hear how devotees take shelter of the Supreme Lord, then we start to understand something about Krishna. That and this is essential. We are surrendering to the Supreme Person. The Supreme Person has his characteristics, so the theological characteristics of God. That knowing who Krishna is and what its potencies are, that and how to connect with his internal potencies, his spiritual potencies, and take shelter of him. So to surrender, it requires knowledge. It requires knowledge and realization of who Krishna is. That therefore it's important to hear at one side about Krishna's potencies, that the characteristics of Krishna. Characteristics of Krishna, they are explained in so many ways in the Bhagavad Gita. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned that Ayopi samapyayatna bhutnam ishvaropi sampagitim adistya samavan mamaya. Although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I'm the Lord of all living entities, by my eternal energy I appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So Krishna speaks about this internal energy. He's unborn. His body never deteriorates, that his transcendental body. So that means Krishna has always been there and will always be there. And when we connect with Krishna, we remain connected through this internal potency, and death cannot separate us. If we remain connected to this internal potency, that so that gives faith. We have so many relations in this world, and in our previous life and the year before, so many relationships we had, and we thought them very important. We became attached or averse to it, but these are all temporary. The only real meaningful relationship is our relationship with Krishna. The other relationships have only temporary meaning. Therefore, a devotee knows this, that if I take shelter of Krishna, no, and I'm connected with Krishna, nothing else will separate us, even not death, not possible. So this is advanced knowledge. You have to cultivate either through hearing and through realization. Because if you take shelter of Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate. But it is a hard lesson to learn. We have to learn that everything happens in this world according to Krishna's will. Even in our lives, everything good or bad happens is Krishna's mercy for us. But we look at it from the body concept of life. And because we are looking at it from the body concept of life, we are mistaking or misunderstanding our eternal relationship with Krishna. That we cannot save this body. This body every day is coming closer to death. And when it happens now, or if it happens a few years later, it doesn't matter really much. But it will come to an end. But therefore, there's urgency to transcend this body consciousness. If we transcend this body consciousness, then we will be connected with Krishna. A connection that cannot be broken. Because once we are under this eternal energy, the material energy cannot touch it. It's not possible. That, and we see Uttara. Uttara, she knew this. And she took shelter of Krishna. And she didn't care for her body. She said to Krishna, if I have to leave my body now, good, but protect my embryo. Of course, she needs her body to protect the embryo also. But yes, this is intelligence, transcendental intelligence, taking shelter of what's durable, not of what is temporary. Taking shelter of what's valuable. And valuable is our relationship with Krishna. All the other relationships in the material world have relative value. But relationship with devotees are very special, because if we live in this relationship with devotees, their focus is Krishna. That Paramanishta. We should become Paramanishta. Paramanishta means the goal is clear, Krishna. And I strive to attain that goal every moment. Then you become a Paramanishta devotee. And that should be the goal of our lives. To become Paramanishta. And then nothing can touch us anymore. We are full of ecstatic happiness because we are connected with Krishna. And that's the Ananda state, that's a normal state of the spirit soul. But still, we wanted to come here. And that was a great mistake. And we have to reverse that. And therefore, we have Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which explains us examples of so many devotees. The Pandavas, they underwent so many tribulations, but they were just absorbed in their service of Krishna. They didn't mind these tribulations. That as long as they were connected with Krishna, they were satisfied. So that is one of the lessons to be learned from the Srimad Bhagavatam here. Any questions or comments, please?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Right.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for a wonderful lecture, especially explaining how we should take shelter of Krishna's internal potency in the form of holy name. So thank you very much.
Krishna.
Yeah, just wanted to, Maharaj, understand when exactly Ashwatthama did this. Is it after Arjuna insulting him, or was it before, Maharaj?
No, that was after, because that was one of the arguments there, that when Arjuna had brought Ashwatthama bound up with ropes before Draupadi, Krishna said, kill him. But then Draupadi said, no, we cannot kill the son of a Brahmin, the son of our Guru, Dronacharya, that we will displease. It will be because we will displease Dronacharya, because his son is representative of his father. And if we would kill Ashwatthama, then Kripi, the widow of Dronacharya, will suffer like I'm suffering. And I don't want that. And Yudhishthira said, it's right. But Bhima did disagree and said, no, kill him. He has done this heinous murder of this. And you should kill him immediately. So there was a conflict. And we know that then Krishna said to Arjuna, so now you must satisfy everyone. You must kill him and don't kill him. And then Arjuna severed the jewel from his head, and by that killed his honor, and they drove him out of the camp. But when they drove him out of the camp, because Bhima said before, so Krishna said, kill him, because he will do it again. And he did it again. He did it again after that.
Okay.
But then, yes, okay, Uttara, because then he wanted to kill with a Brahmastra all the Pandavas, and also the embryo. Maharaj breaks it. And nothing could stop this. No material law could stop this material Brahmastra. But Krishna is beyond the material laws, and he still protected. He can, that is God. God can do the impossible. So yes. Sometimes we think I'm going to become a devotee and I'm going to have a happy material life, but that's not going to happen. That's not the purpose of taking Krishna consciousness. The purpose of Krishna consciousness is to develop love of God and get rid of everything that prevents that, and that's false ego. That is our attachment to this body and trying to make this body happy in this life. But that's an illusion. But that's the concept of God and the living entity, which is difficult to understand of those who are under the sway of lust. Maya, the material energy, will not allow you to understand even that you are not this body. It's only by devotional practice, especially the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, that we come out of this illusion. That, yes. Does that help?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Can I ask a question?
Yes, there's a little.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Thank you for the
One
lecture.
minute.
I just wanted to ask how to develop that deep faith that Krishna will protect us. You know, sometimes I see there's a lot of examples in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and all that the devotees have taken shelter and Krishna is protected. But I see here in this material world, some people, when they have given up everything, things have gone wrong and they regret it. So there's always that little doubt in me that if I don't do such and such a thing, what if something goes wrong? But then you said that surrender you needs knowledge. You have to have a lot of knowledge, and whether good or bad, anything happens, you have to think it has Krishna's mercy. So, but there's always that little doubt.
Yeah.
How to develop it. Yes.
Yeah, the doubt comes because of our ignorance. That's why. Because who are we? We are a spirit soul. What's a symptom of the spirit soul? Is consciousness. Why we are in this body is because the consciousness is polluted by the mode of passion, ignorance, that which makes us think that we are this body. So devotee prays, please, please, Krishna, protect my consciousness. It is useless to some extent to pray for the protection of the body and the body of others, extended family, and all these prayers. God is not our order supplier. We are his servants. That should be very clear. We should come out of this illusion. We should not pray for these material things, that they will go. That's this, if we pray for material things, Dr. Kapila Dev explains in the third canto, this is mixed devotional service with passion and ignorance, and will not quickly purify. Therefore, we must hear and let this attachment go to this world and our relatives, our sons, our family members, all these things, let it go. You have got so many family members in your previous lives that we do just our duty towards them, but no attachment. So it means the devotee is ready to leave this body every moment, no problem. But Krishna, protect my consciousness. Unless we understand that, we cannot really make progress in devotional service. That what is to protect it is our consciousness. And the rest has no value, really. That unless we understand that, we cannot come to the point of pure devotional service. There is always some motive. And if Krishna does not fulfill our motive, then we don't have faith. It's not proper. Try to understand this. That we must follow. But by hearing the Bhagavatam, we hardly understand these things. And by experience, in life, we give up our attachment. It's one of the 10 offenses. 10 offense. to not have complete faith in the chant of the holy name, and to be inattentive while chanting, even after following so many instructions on does not matter, remain attached to matter. We must willing to give it up, and that's important. Otherwise, we remain, our faith will not develop. That because we see Krishna as we expect Krishna to reciprocate with our material situation, and that's selfishness. It's not pure love. So I hope this helps, Mother Vajrayana.
Yes.
Look forward to see you soon.
Yes, thank
Krishna
you.
willing. Thank you. I have to go down there now because I have to give the class here in New York, beginning in 10 minutes.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
See you next week online again. Krishna will.
Yes.
Jai
Yes,
Prabhupada. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Jai Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Ki jai.